Alright, welcome back.
We were about to have a battle with our crazy yandere girlfriend.
Yeah, and this girl was going to watch, which we did look up in between shots. It's voyeurism. She is a voyeurist.
You remember how it all works, right? Once you get to all of the badges, you get to throw down against the strongest Pokemon trainers around. Yes, you must face the Pokemon League.
And then you have to kill all the champions to fight me, the super champion.
What? It's located to the northwest of
Masagoza.
Masagoza. The Pokemon League is where trainers are reborn as champions. The greatest honor that they might have dreamt for. Collecting 8 gym badges. I have not gym badges. They're other badges.
Yes.
Let you take the champion.
One of those sets of badges isn't even a recognized badge.
Yeah. Now two of the sets of badges aren't.
Oh yeah, you're right.
There's the champion assessment.
Well, to be fair, one of them is recognized by a group of people at least. The other one is just for the stupid sandwich guy.
True. So we can actually take the champion assessment before the first gym.
Oh.
We just can't fucking do anything with it.
Oh, well, that's boring.
Yeah. If you...
Dude, I want one Pokemon. Just one. I want one Pokemon game to come out where you can just, like, go right to the Elite Four and challenge the gym lead, like, challenge the Elite Four member immediately
just to rock you.
Without doing any of the badges. Just for the hilariousness of, like, you trying to beat, like, level 80s with level 5 Pokemon.
Yeah, for them to rock you. If you face a challenge for the final examiner and win, you'll become a champion. Just imagine how that moment would feel. Try to get into the champion mindset.
Mind freak.
Now, set your sights on reaching that battle on that big, important stage. And excuse me for a moment. I believe Dante's Pokemon still might be a little fatigued.
Are you gonna help me with that? Like in The Legend of Zelda 2? Should I be going into your house to replenish my health?
Sorry, I got a little caught up in my battle hunger.
You're unstable, anyways.
Well, her porn is great.
Her porn is great, though. But that's probably because she's unstable.
No. Well, you should be in good shape now, thanks to El Prima. Okay, Dante. It's time to put our game faces back on. Let's get another fruitful battle. So, last episode we were talking about the greatest villain power.
Oh, yeah.
Giving people dyslexia.
It would, like... You can't tell me that wouldn't be the funniest and also one of the worst villain powers ever.
It would be terrible.
Just all, like, you're just like, they just touch their fucking forehead and then they're just like, you are now dyslexic.
That was just fucking terrifying.
Just full ass. I love that you were like, that'd be terrifying, and it's just like, no one has any understanding. See, no one has any understanding of what it's actually like to be dyslexic unless you are dyslexic.
Yes.
So, like, the horror of, like, because it would just be the horror of being like, oh yeah, you can read and write, no problem, and then all of a sudden you would look at a sign and be like, oh my god, how do I read this?
It's so true.
Just, like, immediately, like, oh my god, what is this say?
It's so true.
What does this say, and how do I say it?
Oh, that was a good one. Your moves really do have some zing to them. You know about super effective moves?
No. Maybe. I guess, to be fair, most people probably wouldn't make it that specific. They would probably just give them the superpower to make them, like, illiterate. Which would accomplish essentially the same thing.
But
I imagine that would be the worst thing ever. Is you just wake up and all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, I can't read anymore.
Yeah, that would be terrifying, to be honest with you.
Think about how horrible that would be. You get a text from your girl and you have no idea what she's trying to say to you.
I already don't.
Nice. Very nice. Dude, these fucking swiggity-swooty coming for your booty moves is fucking a little unsettling.
Alright, this guy is, like, kind of shitty right now, but, like, he is gonna be better. But we have to use Deja Vu!
Higher on the streets and I'm going to tell you, whoa. Oh, you switched into an electric type and you used Paralyze, you're dead.
Dead.
Just dead. Dude, he's fucking your shit. That's another typing I don't understand. That, like, lightning isn't strong against metal. You know what I mean? Like, that feels like... Because metal is super conductive.
It used to actually be, resistant.
Yeah.
But they did away with that.
Probably because they were like, wow, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
What was, there was a video I watched not too long ago about that was just like, Pokemon typings make perfect sense. Just remember, and the whole system makes perfect sense. You know, fire beats grass, grass beats water, water beats fire. And all of them make sense in a radical, in an understandable way. You know, psychic types, afraid of bugs in the dark. Makes sense. Mental problems. You know, afraid of, have a problem with the dark? Punch it! It says Spark's weak to fighting for some fucking reason.
Oh, I actually love that.
I'm just like, oh my god, I hate Pokemon so much because it's so true.
Yeah, this is very true. See that, Prima? I'm gonna get back right into the corner.
I wish I could remember the Maxor video, because the only thing that is worse typing than Pokemon is, fucking... What's that stupid game that everyone played for a while?
Battle World?
No, the one that had all the anime girls in it. Fuck. Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah, I'm like, I know it. Genshin Impact has, like, type differences, too, and Maxor had a funny... I wish I could remember exactly what he said, but he was like... He's like... And it has an elemental system that makes absolutely no fucking sense. Water buffs fire. Like, grass defeats fire. It's like water... And it's like fire buffs grass. Water defeats grass. And then he's just like... electricity plus fire equals pipe bomb. He's like...
People are going to start paying more and more attention to you. I just know it.
I mean... Maybe she wants to get in early. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Another display of talent, even one of skill as champion Nimona. That was a splendid match. I enjoyed watching it very much. I enjoy watching other things, too.
She enjoys watching. Just in general.
Now even El Prima thinks you are the one to watch. You have so much potential. That's what I expect from my rival!
That's what I expect from my boy toy. I mean rival.
The way you're going...
Dude,
watch you brought my back.
Dude, I'm just telling you, man. If you gave her, like, a couple weeks in a room with her, like, she would have him wearing a fucking Evangelion Shinzi flight pilot suit and a cage and fucked up.
You know, since the first time we met, I've been weirdly sure of one thing. You look really good in that thing Chris just described.
You look real good in a Shinji Evangelion pilot suit.
You're gonna be champion. No doubt about it, Dante. The rest of those gyms? You can take them. 100%. No problem. I agree. In fact, you should take this. Consider an investment in your future. I obtained Terra Blast. Terra Blast, if used as a terrorization, it unleashes energy of the Terra type. It must move and inflicts damage using attack or special attack, depending on whichever is higher of the user.
I like it. It uses energy of the Terra type. The fuck is the Terra type?
Terra type, the hats.
Oh, okay.
So if the Pokemon uses the move that is on Terrestrialize, it will change to the Terra type of the Pokemon. One day, Dante, you and me are going to have the greatest battle ever. You know it. I'm going to go train up even more than I already have been.
That's right, me and her are going to go 10 rounds in a bedroom. The greatest battle of all time. Only one shall be the victor.
She shows you such support and friendship, or perhaps she's hopeful you truly might rival her. No, it's not a mere hope. She seems to have complete faith that you'll catch up to her. At any rate, allow me to return you to the gym where I found you.
She's been so tired of her boy toys. They've all been such disappointments. You will stand on par with her.
Pretty much.
Dude, okay. Speaking of Shinji, though, and boy toys, so, fucking Evangelion Rule 34, right?
Yep, I mean, yes, it's intense.
So, okay. Listen, I'm a reasonable person. I like me some Asuka and I like me some Rei, alright? I'm a reasonable human being.
Yeah.
Shinji is unavoidable. You cannot look up.
Yeah, they do.
You can't look up Rule 34 of Rei, or especially Asuka, and not find fucking all sorts of Shinji.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all the same. They're always femboy Shinji. Which, you know what? I get it. But, I'm not always looking for it, alright? Some days I'm not looking for it.
You're making it sound like it's a problem, Chris.
It's not a problem. Because, as I said before, I get it. But some days it's not what I'm looking for. I have standards, and I have types, and they change sporadically through the day. Alright?
The realest fucking thing, Chris. I have standards, and I have types, and they change on a whim.
And they change on a whim. Dude, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, I'm gonna look this thing up, and then I get completely sidetracked,
you go down
and I don't
hole.
even look at what I wanted to look at in the first fucking place.
Rum. Hey, Dante. There's a rumor about the false dragon titan lurks somewhere in the lake. I'm not doing any more of these today.
False dragon type?
But not a single person ever caught a glimpse of it. You'll see when we get there.
Okay.
This might have been some terrible, truly terrifying beast. But how are we supposed to search for such a thing when we don't even know where it is? Look what it looks like. Surely it would be handy if it could run around crying, "I'm the Titan!" or something. If not, right? If only, right?
This guy's so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Oh, yo, my last side note about the thing that I shouldn't be talking about on YouTube. So, that's the one thing I wanted to bring up while we were making jokes about Shinji and the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Was the, do you remember that they change Asuka's suit in, like, I don't even think they do it in the anime, I think it's only in the movie.
I think so.
Where it gets that, it's like see-through. Like, for some reason they redesign her suit, but, like, this part down to, like, her crotch is, like, see-through.
Yes, I think I remember
And,
that.
like, even in the movie, she's like, yo, what the fuck is with this suit? And they're like, don't worry about it. And that's the whole explanation. And I'm like, alright. It's like, I've always, no matter how many times I watch that fucking movie, I always have the same process of like, yeah, why did they do this for the other suits didn't need to be see-through at this point, why did they do this?
I love it because, like, sometimes it doesn't make sense on, like, why things will happen like that, and then, like, the character literally calling him out and be like, what the fuck's up with this? And everyone's just like,
I mean, it reminds me of a conversation I had a long time ago with my buddy from college. He was like, they added one of the Fire Emblem girls to Smash Brothers. I think it was... No, it wasn't Chrome. It was the one that could, like, turn into a fucking dragon.
Oh, yes.
I
Robin, I
her
believe, is
name.
the character's name.
No, Robin's the one
No,
from
it's,
Awakening. It's the one after Awakening.
Oh, God, I can't remember that character's default name.
Yeah, anyways, it's the one who turns into a dragon. That's all you need to know.
The one
the main character who turns into a dragon.
The
if
one
you can
from
figure it out.
Fates, I believe, is the game.
It is Fates. I know that. But I can't remember her name, so I don't care. She has that thigh thing.
Yeah.
Like, she has full armor, but for some reason her inner thigh has no armor.
Yeah. So you can't have too bad a chub rub, Chris.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, because, like, it's one of those things that there's just, like, there's no armor on her inner thigh, and I'm like, I mean, that's fine. Like, how the hell are you gonna get a sword swing on the inner thigh anyways? Like, to be fair, like, you really don't need it there in the first place. It doesn't really make any sense when you think about it. Like, you know what I mean, right? Like, if I'm swinging a sword, it's gotta go lateral or horizontal, and if I'm swinging it, I'm not gonna be swinging it up because there's no power behind that. I'd have to be swinging it down. So, like, you really wouldn't need armor in between your crotch, because no one's gonna hit you there anyways.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like, you really only need armor on the outer half that could be hit on a horizontal swing. Anyways, not important. what is important, I'm getting sidetracked all over the place. But,
always.
But my...
Always?
Yeah, always. But my friend was like... He's like, why do they have why do they have that on the inner thigh? There's no fucking thing there. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm like... And my response was, it's probably because the artist thought it looked good, so that's what they went with. And he's like, yeah, but like, what's the practical reason for it? And I'm like, well, maybe it gives you better mobility because, there's nothing there to get in your way. You probably wouldn't chafe anymore because you wouldn't be as hot. You have more breathability. You get more flexibility because there's not as much armor there. And he's like, yeah, I don't really buy that. And I was just like, I just went, listen, dude, I don't know what you fucking want. I gave you the real reason. You didn't want it, so I gave you a fake reason. You don't want that either. I don't know what you want, man. And he was like, all right, fair.
That's the realest fucking thing.
I don't get me wrong, I like my friends, and I don't have any problems with them. But, I do hate people on the internet that are just like, why do they do this? It makes no sense. And then you're like, well, here's a bunch of reasons why it could make sense. And then they're just like, I refuse to acknowledge any of those points. Fuck you, it's horrible. And I'm like, go fuck yourself, then.
I saw the funniest way of, dealing with certain people who do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they were talking about, how people identify and such.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has the right to identify however you want.
Yeah, of course.
But,
do what you please.
This woman was doing an interview, and the woman goes, you mean pregnant people? And he goes, what?
Yeah.
No, I mean pregnant mothers. Well, some people don't identify as mothers. And he goes, oh, okay.
I mean, I would hope they would if they're having a child, if they're pregnant.
They don't. And then he goes, well, I identify as the person who's right in this conversation.
That's really funny.
And she's just like, no. And he's just like, but that's how I identify.
Understandable.
So we hit him with their dumb logic, and she 404'd and got really butthurt.
I've talked about it before, but whenever anyone tries to make arguments that are no, this thing is this thing or whatever, yes. I always just take it to its logical extreme. Because, it's so hard for them to keep going once you, bring it to a point where it's just gone so off the rails that it's oh, okay. God, I wish I could remember an example. There was one that happened recently, too, and I can't remember what the fuck it was, but it was, it was something about, it was essentially about, the pea people, right? Which I can't really say on YouTube, but it essentially is about the pea people. And they're they were saying something along the line. They were trying to make an argument that it was something was okay in a certain situation. You know what? Actually, I'm not even gonna go with this story because they were just fucking stupid, and there's probably a better story that is easier to explain on YouTube than what I'm going with.
No, I'm where are you going with this?
Essentially, I called them out because their logic was bad. They were trying to defend the thing you shouldn't defend, and I was like, oh, okay, well, if that's the case, then we should just allow all this shit then, too. And they were like, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, you see the problem. But I can't explain it well on YouTube, so I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah, I'm surprised you even tried to.
It's, I mean, you shouldn't be surprised at all. I always
you're right.
I'm always off the rails. That's what I do. There was... What the fuck was it? There was, I think it was, there was another one that was you know what, I'll use the one for porn, because the porn one is easier, right?
Because the internet is porn?
Yeah, well, there's a friend of mine I was talking to, who was pornography is bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, if you watch the show, you know me and Derek's take on this is not that. So...
It can be damaging.
It can... No, listen. Everything can be bad.
True.
If you drink too much water, you can die of water poisoning.
Which is absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, and real. You can absolutely do it. And it's actually not that hard to do it. So everything is bad, and everything's good, and everything's bad outside of moderation, right?
Yeah.
That's fair. Video games are bad for you if you don't moderate. Yeah. Video games are bad for you if you play them so much that you don't do anything else. You know what I mean? Everything is bad to you to a point. You just need to know how to not be stupid. Call out everyone who has a problem. Anyways. So
yeah, good job there, Chris.
I had to listen. If they have problems, then they should fucking fix them. Like, they shouldn't just be like, "No, I'm fine." Like, no, you should acknowledge you have a problem and do something about
fine.
it. Yeah, exactly. But I had a friend who was like, I've had multiple people do this. It's not just like this one guy. I've had many people, sometimes family members, do this where they're just like, porn is bad, and I'm like, explain, because they're always just like, their reasoning is always porn is bad, and then when you're like, explain why, they go into reasons that make no fucking sense. So I'm like, explain, and they're just like, well, porn is bad because like it makes you more sexist, and I'm like, all right, prove it. Yeah, they're like, it makes you sexist and it makes you not appreciate women, and I'm just like, that makes no fucking sense. And they're just like, no, you've proven it with studies, and I'm like, okay. Do you also believe that video games cause violence? And I'm like, and they're like, no, and I'm like, well, there's studies proving it.
And then there's studies that prove it doesn't.
Yeah, same thing with porn. Like, there's studies that prove it does, and there's studies that prove it doesn't. So which is it?
One of the ways that porn actually is damaging, that people don't actually realize, is it gives people a unrealistic expectation of how sex is.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah, but like, this is the, like, yes, you're not wrong, but you can't argue that porn is bad because of that one thing.
No.
Because then you can also make the argument that video games are bad because it gives people an unrealistic expectation of how life works.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm
so it's like, so it's like, so no. Like, yeah. The problem there isn't that porn is unrealistic or the expectations are wrong. The problem there is that people need to learn that the fucking what you watch is not the real world. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
And the problem is easily fixable, because all you have to do is acknowledge, oh hey, this isn't real. That's it! It's not even that fucking hard to do. But it always goes the same way, where they're always like, porn is bad because it makes people do bad things. And then I go, alright, well with that logic, then video games, media, music, TV shows, and all that should also be banned. Because it's also bad. And then they're like, well, no, because that's not true. And I'm like, so you don't think video games cause violence? And they're like, no. And I'm like, then why do you think porn causes sexism? And they never have an answer. They just go, well, it does. And I'm like, okay.
People parrot what they hear on the internet.
Yeah, no, it's literally, I've talked about it before, but people don't use their fucking brains anymore. I swear to God. They just hear shit, and then they're like, this is true, I will tell everyone.
I want people to understand when Chris did, people just do parrot when he said that. He did the fucking, Invincible meme, where it's think, Mark! Use your brain. I don't know, man. Like, is it just me? Like, critical thinking skills are at an all-time low. Oh, they are.
Like, because I can't tell you how many times I've had people come to me and be like, oh yeah, this is bad. And then I'm like, and then I listen to it and I'm just like, and I like think through it and I'm just like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm like, what they're telling us doesn't add up at all. Like, what do you mean? Like, my favorite was like, I think it's because a lot of people just want to be right about things now, so they don't want to look into it, but like, I talked about it last recording, but I was sent a video about, like, Star Wars, about how all these Star Wars reviewers are being disingenuous, right? Where they're like, oh, they're being disingenuous because, like, they said they had a problem because Rey didn't train, but she beat a Master Jedi, but Luke didn't train, and then it's like, and they're like, see, that's them, see? And I'm like, this video, and then I'm sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, but he's being disingenuous. Because, yeah, Luke didn't train, I'm like, one, Luke trained more than she did. He didn't train a lot. And number two, he lost every fight he was up against a Master Jedi. Or Sith Lord, whatever you want to call him.
Yes.
Like, he lost every fight. He didn't win one of them. And he had more training than she did. And he lost!
Luke wins against more people who are, not Jedis.
Yeah.
Or people who
he wins against nobodies.
Yeah.
He wins against fucking stormtroopers and fucking the giant fucking Yeti thing or whatever. But like,
yes.
He doesn't fucking win against anyone who's an actual Master Jedi. Darth Vader cuts his fucking hand off. Darth Sidious almost kills him. Like, he doesn't win against anyone who actually is a Jedi.
I'm pretty sure Luke doesn't win any of the fights against Vader.
Yeah, not one. And that's the only other Jedi he fights. He fights Vader, and he fights Sidious, and he loses both of them. That's it. Like, he doesn't win any fight against a Jedi. Luke is actually not that good at being a Jedi, if you actually think about it. But, like, because he doesn't actually do anything, and he leaves his training early because he's like, no, I gotta go tell my friends.
I gotta go save my friends.
And then fucking Yoda's like, you will die, and he's like, I'll do it anyways. Anyways. So, but like, that's what I'm talking about, where I'm like, people have no critical thinking skills. They see that.
We can end the episode on Big Hammer evolving.
Yeah, but like, that's what I mean, though, where I'm like,
oh yeah, no, I completely
people
agree.
don't have any critical thinking, because they see that, they hear that, and they're just like, ha, I'm right! Where I hear that, and I'm just like, wait, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Do you like Big Hammer?
I don't care. Not even for a second.
Isn't she beautiful?
Nope. Anyways, with that, I'll let you finish.
Replace the
You
move.
gotta replace the move.
Replace Metal Claw.
Goodbye, Metal Claw. You were barely used.
Yeah, you're not a great move.
All right. With that, we'll pick it up in the next part. We'll see you guys then. Peace.